virtually on our Facebook page, on Facebook Live, or if you're watching the recording later, that's fine too. We're really happy that everybody's here. My name is Jesse Schneiderman. I'm the Executive Director of the Adult Learning Center, which is a program of Strong City, Baltimore. And I just wanted to welcome you all and thank you all for coming. To talk a little bit about Strong City, Baltimore, and a little bit more about what they do for us and what they do in general, is the interim CEO of Strong City, Baltimore, Reggie Davis. So without further ado, Reggie, take it away.
Good afternoon, good evening. I'm Reggie Davis, as Jesse mentioned, the interim CEO of Strong City, Baltimore. Strong City, Baltimore's mission is to build and strengthen neighborhoods and people. We understand that a key component of that is strengthening people, creating opportunities for upward mobility for individuals. And the work that the Adult Learning Center does is a critical piece of that. And I'm so excited to celebrate our learners tonight for what you've accomplished. I remember maybe about 10 years ago when my mother, my family gathered to celebrate my mother who had completed her GED program. And so this is certainly personal and for me, and I celebrate you and your accomplishment tonight. And so on behalf of the board, the staff and volunteers at Strong City, Baltimore, we want to say thank you for the work that you've done and what you've accomplished, and look forward to what you're going to accomplish in the future.
Thank you so much, Reggie, for jumping in with that and those nice words about Strong City and about our learners. Next up, I wanted to introduce our student speaker. Our student speaker is Monessa Keemer. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Monessa to take it away. So give me 1 second to share my screen, because I want to make sure that we all get to see Monessa and everything she had to say. So without further ado, here's Monessa.
Hi, my name is Monessa Keemer. I'm 56 years old. On September the 14th, 2019, I earned my GED. I first took the GED in the 1980s. I've taken the GED throughout the years, and I attended many different programs to do so. I was encouraged by my neighbor and friend Regina to enroll in the Strong City Adult Learning Center. I attended the Strong City program for 18 months. The Strong City program is a community-based program. In the program, I was able to take my time and learn. The teachers were very patient. The hours and the location were convenient for me because I also work a full-time job. The community-based program allowed me to receive other needed help as well. Our class fellowship together, took trips, and developed friendships. Strong City program was the right fit for me because I have now earned my GED. Regina was born in Washington, D.C. to Caribbean parents who immigrated to the United States from Jamaica and Barbados. She received her Bachelor of Kinesiology and Psychology from Towson University and holds a Master in Public Administration from the University of Baltimore. Regina was also elected delegate in the 43rd District in 2018, where she serves on the Environmental Transportation Committee and is assigned to the Environmental and Motor Vehicle Administration subcommittees.
So without further ado, I want to introduce our keynote speaker, former director of the Adult Learning Center and delegate of the 43rd District, Regina Boyce. Regina, take it away.
Thank you so much. And if anybody knows me, I'm a crybaby, and I can't tell you how proud I am of Vanessa. I haggled her for years. And she is the quintessential story of every learner at the Adult Learning Center. And I thank her for introducing me. I thank her for her persistence. And I thank every learner for their persistence to pursue their goals. So I would say good evening. And it is so good to be with you all today. And again, I want to take this opportunity to first and foremost thank Strong City Baltimore's Adult Learning Center for inviting me to give the remarks to our adult learners. I am completely touched, and I am honored to be a part of this moment, and especially this year. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the ALC staff, teachers and volunteers, as well as the ALC partners, funders, and generous supporters. Without the ALC, nor the opportunities for adult learners, none of this would exist without them. So learners, first and foremost, congratulations, class of 2020. You did it, and you did it in a year of all years. And what a year has it been turning out to be, and we're not even complete. You have experienced moving to a new building and a new community. Then a global pandemic strikes, forcing you to take school at home. Some of you may have lost your jobs and are essential employee workers, providing the rest of us with services that we would otherwise not have, which has put you and your families on the front line facing an unseen enemy every day. And so we see you, we thank you, and know that we are fighting for you, your safety and your financial stability. Some of you are learning to work from home. Some of you are experiencing the closure of schools and childcare facilities with your children at home all day, scheduling and prioritizing our lives through a new world we call virtual, or the famous Zoom call. And we are now in the midst of a quick moving global movement demanding police reforms and accountability and racial justice and equity. Black Lives Matter. And we are in the most important election of a lifetime. All of this, and we're still in June. We are living through a historic moment, and we all have a part to play. Where you stand today and how you respond in this moment can and will dictate how you will respond to life's challenges, but most importantly, what you will do to help resolve those challenges. What you do or don't do determines your future, how you will bring forth your hopes and dreams in the midst of challenges. But you have already taken your stand. You have already been meeting your challenges by not allowing our global challenges of today to keep you from promising tomorrow. You have realized that the key to unlock your hopes and dreams, the ability to stand and to respond to solve the challenges of today, is your education. Malcolm X said that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for today. Nelson Mandela said what I believe are the best words on education, words fitting for this moment in history. Education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world. I know Nelson Mandela said these words because he knew that education is ongoing, that it is lifelong. To overcome challenges, to live out our hopes and dreams, to be the change we want to see in the world, you must continue what you have begun and accomplished here at the Adult Learning Center, your education. For our GED passers, for our GED section passers, and for our English language learners, now that you have your diploma, now that you are almost in attainment of your diploma, and now that you have attained the ALC's highest level of English and civics, you have to ask yourself, what do I want to do? What do I like to do? This is a much different question from the usual question of what do I want to be? You are already being. We are pushing you to do. I learned this idea of what to be versus what to do from Kirk Schmoke, our past mayor of Baltimore City, the past dean of Howard University Law School, and now the current president of the University of Baltimore. He told the story of Nehemiah. In the Old Testament, Nehemiah was a cupbearer. A cupbearer is a high-ranking royal official primarily in charge of serving wine to the king. Since he was close to the person of the king who feared intrigue and the possibility of poisoned food, the cupbearer was required to be the man of irreproachable loyalty, capable of winning the king's complete confidence. Nehemiah was upset one day while serving the king, King Xerxes I. The king asked what was wrong, and Nehemiah told the king that Jerusalem was in ruin. He asked the king for permission to be dismissed from his duties to go and repair and rebuild Jerusalem. Upon King Xerxes hearing his most trusted servant's sadness, he immediately released him from his duties, providing him with money, with supplies, a letter for safe passage, and bodies to rebuild Jerusalem. A cupbearer for a secular king became governor of the city he loved, rebuilding and repopulating it. ALC learners, I ask you again, what do you want to do? What saddens you? What delights you? What puzzles you? Whatever it is exactly what you ought to be doing. Go forth and do. Make you proud. And yes, make us proud too, but make you proud. Now more than ever, we need doers and go-getters like yourselves to collectively do what is needed and what is best for our families, our communities, our city. Have you voted? Are you registered to vote? Have you completed the 2020 census? How are you contributing your best, your gifts during this historical moment? We are only in the middle of 2020, and you've accomplished so much. This is a big deal. Pat yourselves on the back. Just remember, while on your journey of furthering your education and moving into what you will do, remember to be patient and kind to yourself. Allow mishaps and mistakes. Rome was not built in a day. Remember that the race is not given to the strong or the swift, but to the one that endures. Endure and enjoy your accomplishment and the new journey ahead. God bless each and every one of you. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Regina, for your touching words about our learners, about your experience, and everything. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the ALC. I want to next introduce Sherry DeFrancisci. Sherry DeFrancisci is our Assistant Director and our Adult Basic Education Instructional Specialist. She is going to introduce our GED passers and our GED section passers. So without further ado, let's listen in to Sherry.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the celebration of our students for this Achievement Night 2020. We celebrate all the accomplishments that they have made during this very unusual semester. I'm going to just share my screen with you while we talk, and I want to tell you a little something about the Adult Basic Education program at the Adult Learning Center of Strong City, Baltimore. We have an ABE student population of about 250 students. That was before COVID hit. When COVID hit, we had to act very quickly. With less than a week's notice, we had to switch to online teaching. Imagine trying to implement online teaching when students didn't own computers, didn't have access to the internet, or had no interest or desire to participate in online learning. Students now also had to work with their entire families, quarantining with them. And some of our students were essential workers in hospitals and nursing homes, so they were working twice as many hours as they had been prior to the COVID crisis. So I have to say it's a testament to our teachers that we were able to retain nearly 70% of our students throughout the semester. Right now we're looking at our AM teachers. These teachers, along with the PM teachers, gave above and beyond the call of duty. They called, they coached, they encouraged, and they kept the students with us through the balance of the semester. So I want to give a thank you to Judy, Mia, Nancy, Tira, and Steve. And then also our PM teachers, Antoinette, James, Kevin, Sheena, Trinessa, and not pictured, Andrew, Emmanuel, and Joanne. Thank you so much for that. These teachers and their fabulous, just warm spirit, professionalism, and dedication to their craft. We would not have been able to survive the semester. So, in addition to the Adult Learning Center closing, the testing centers also closed. So I want to give a huge congratulations to these 8 students that were able to get in and pass at least one part of the GED. You may not realize that in order to complete the testing for your high school diploma, there are 4 sections of the GED: reading, language, arts, social studies, science, and mathematics. And you'd have to pass all 4, obviously, to get your high school diploma. So congratulations to these 8 partial passers, and I hope to see all of you in summer classes so that we can move towards that goal of getting your high school diploma. And now for what we've been waiting for. These students remain focused and pass all 4 sections of the GED, earning their high school diploma. And we give our heartfelt congratulations and well wishes to the following students. Congratulations to Juanita Bowie. Congratulations, Malika Brown. Congratulations, Marvin Maddox. Congratulations, Joy Jones. Congratulations, Monessa Keemer. And congratulations to Kenya Scott. So thank you again for joining us and celebrating the achievements of these very special students that persevered even under the most unusual circumstances. And I'm going to send it back over to Jessie with closing remarks. Have a great evening and thank you again for joining us.
So thank you, Sherry. Congratulations, all of our ABE section passers and full passers. Now, to bring it to our English language acquisition students, our English language learning students, is our English language instructional specialist, Carolina. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're gonna hear from Carolina.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us at the Achievement Night 2020. Really excited to share some stories and share some achievements from the English language acquisition side of the program. And I am so proud to say that we've had experienced such a great transition from in-person to distance learning, around 70% of retention for our students. And as we know, in our English language acquisition program, we have students facing the obstacles of language fluency, but also technological issues and digital literacy issues. And it's even more fulfilling to see how well some of them were able to transition and how well they did just pursuing and staying on that same path of reaching their educational goals. And it would have not been possible if it wasn't for our instructors, who I would like to recognize. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And those are our amazing ELA teachers. Kathy, Susanna, Brianna, Coleman, Rohizat, Catherine, and Audrey. Thank you guys again so much for everything that you're doing for our program and for everything that you did to support your students, to guide your students, to give them educational support, but also emotionally. I know that you were there for them, helping to guide them through this difficult transition, and you were also successful in it. So just a round of applause, I guess, for everybody that is included in this slide. Thank you guys so much. And let's take a look at some students that tested out of our advanced level. So that means they have either moved to the highest level class, communication, or tested out of the program and they're ready to pursue their other educational goals with being fluent in English. It's Claudia Oliveira, Jose Henriquez, Gulshan Elton Dierek, Gabriela Michelle Guevara, Asim Ozbek, Carmen Miranda, and Angela Mejia, and Jenny Zhang all had scores that exceeded the highest level either in the fall or spring semester. So great job. And now I just want to share a couple of success stories that we've had. And we've had so many, but I'm going to focus on the ones that I had in the English Language Acquisition Program. Carmen Miranda recently enrolled in cybersecurity training at a college. Tak and Boki Her were participating in their class with perfect attendance, transitioned into distance learning, and never missed a class. Samira Hossein-Nami was recognized by her instructor as one of the most diligent and hardworking and committed students. Mohammed Balubali has completed his CNA training and got his certification. Daisy Pleites made a huge gain in her language skills and is way more comfortable using it. Candice Kinney, one of our beginners, also very, very great attendance, participation. Despite her health issues, she persisted and stayed committed to the class. And Rui Lan Hao voluntarily came and post-tested and made a huge gain, all because her commitment to learning in her high intermediate class. So amazing stories. I hope there's more to come in the upcoming year, and there will be more to share next year. Thank you guys so much for your attention. And I just want to say again, I'm very, very proud of the English Language Acquisition side of the program.
Thank you, Carolina. And so before we close up, I want to acknowledge a couple of our teachers, not a couple of our staff members that are full-time that were not mentioned tonight. So we have a pretty decent sized team at the ALC. You have me, the executive director, Sherry and Carolina, and we also have some other people behind the scenes who you're not going to see tonight. Georgina Blackwell is our intake and assessment specialist and our offsite coordinator. She handles all of our testing and all of our offsite courses. Thomas Frey, a former teacher with the ALC actually, is our tutor instructional specialist and our volunteer coordinator. Anyone who comes in as a tutor goes through Thomas, and our tutoring program is so robust. And it's one of the things that keeps bringing students back to us is how dedicated and awesome our tutors are. When folks haven't been in school in a really long time, it could sometimes be nerve-wracking to dive right back in. When we tell people that we have tutor support for free, along with all of our stuff, it really draws people in and it makes them feel comfortable. So I want to thank Thomas and Georgina for their work, and Joanne Egan. Joanne Egan is our mass information support specialist. She does a lot of our data entry and our intake on that. And honestly, she keeps the books running. Our funders wouldn't be happy if we didn't have Joanne and all of the information that she could provide us. So I want to thank our staff and all of their work. I want to thank people who have donated to the Adult Learning Center. The Arbor Dog Foundation is a local foundation that's donated to us. The ABLE Foundation, obviously the Maryland State Department of Labor, one of our biggest funders, the Baltimore City Department of Housing through the Community Development Block Grants, the Leedy Foundation, the Hirshhorn Foundation, all of this foundational giving, and anybody who's donated to us even a little bit. We have been having a silent auction for about the last month in anticipation of our achievement night and as an attempt to kind of raise money in support of our learners, and everybody who donated an item to that, I want to thank them too. FEV Tutors Facebook, the Washington Wizards and the Washington Mystics. Mike Cross Barnett with Strong City Baltimore for donating the Chincoteague House. Cafe Latte Da, Poppy's Tacos, Water for Chocolate, Ekibon, Cosima, Sagamore Spirits and Distillery, Old Line Spirits, the Baltimore Distillery Company. I'm sure I'm forgetting others. A number of personal services, yoga instruction, guitar teaching from James Leach, one of our teachers, personal training. A number of things have been donated, and I really, every single donor, every single person who's donated on the border. Sam Solomon, a staff member at Strong City, has donated. Strong City itself has donated. Kathleen O'Neill, a former staff member of the ALC, donated a homemade quilt. So everybody who has donated to that silent auction, thank you so much for your donations. And surprise, we're actually extending our silent auction. It was supposed to end tonight. Turns out it ends tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So 32auctions.com/adult learning center. You could find everything there. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see it. You can find all of our items there. And again, the site is 32auctions.com/adult learning center. We've so far raised $1,332 through our silent auction. Everybody who has donated, everybody who has bid, everybody who has thought about bidding. If there's nothing there you like, you could just donate on the page too. Anybody who's donated anything to us, anybody who's thought about donating anything to us, if I forgot to name you, I'm sorry, there were so many people. So on my behalf, on behalf of Reggie Davis, on behalf of Regina Boyce, on behalf of the whole staff of the Adult Learning Center, all of our teachers, all of our community, I just want to thank everybody for coming and spending time with us tonight on Facebook Live. I came to the Adult Learning Center as a teacher. I was looking for a part-time job. As soon as I got there, I realized it was a really warm environment and everyone really loved to be there. And it's a small little family. And whether it's been getting to know all the staff, all the volunteers, whether it's eating all the awesome food when we had our potlucks on Thanksgiving, and all of our students from around the world. We serve students from over 50 countries, and students brought in food from all of their homes, and sometimes the food was a little different and I wasn't super excited about it, but I always tried it and it was great. And just whether it's our community, whether it's the association with Strong City, regardless of who it is, I'm just so thankful to be a part of this organization and to be part of this community. And you know, in Judaism, at the end of the Seder, at the end of the Passover Seder, we say next year in Jerusalem. Next year we'll all be together somewhere else. So I'll close the Adult Learning Center Achievement Night with next year in person. Next year in person, and I want to thank everybody so much for coming and for spending your time with us. And that's it. Thanks, everybody.